In this video you'll discover the magic of blending Inktense products on fabric. Inktense products transform fabric into a stunning canvas of permanent, bold colors. And when set with textile medium permanent designs are created for quilts, purses, garments, and wall art.
So now that you know how important it is to catalog the Inktense pencils and the blocks and have them color identified, it makes putting your artwork together so much easier. But when I'm working with fabric and I'm going to put Inktense on them, I like to kind of play around with things first to see what's going to work. So what I'm showing you is I sample my designs out on a piece of Playtex. Playtex plastic. I buy it over at, I think it's Ace Hardware. You can buy it. Home Depot, and any hardware store will have it. And then I tape painter's tape all around it to protect the edges. I'm going to use this and play with things that I want before I immediately go and put it onto the quilt. Because once it's on the quilt, if I make a mistake, I'm stuck with the mistake. So let me show you something about how I do this. Here's a larger piece. Hold on a minute. I'm going to get a smaller piece too. I have several of these as I'm working out my design work. And as you can see, here, I was testing watercolor pencils. And I didn't like it because it was running. I didn't get the clarity that I wanted with it. Here's another one where I was testing out how to use the what I call the textile magic, and I'll talk to you, medium, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. The different ways of laying it down first, laying the color down first, and then laying it over it. So these were all ways I was testing. And then here, I wanted to test the difference between the Inktense pencils and the Inktense blocks. And in here, again, I was testing, do I want to use water? I will probably never use water because you can see how it blurs. And that could be me. I'm just not happy with the way that I want, when I'm going to put this down on a beautiful quilt, I want complete control and I want to guarantee that it's going to work. Next thing I'm going to do is show you some of the pros and cons of what to use as far as the paintbrushes go. Here's two that I'm going to show you first. And I believe this one's called a scrubber. I don't even see. Yeah, they're both called scrubbers. I think that's really important to know that when you're using, like this is called a chisel, when you are wanting to do some work, let me see if I can get this a little closer for you, just a little bit. You want a paintbrush that is not going to do this. See how it lays flat when I touch it? I can control that because I've been painting for quite a few years, but I don't want to deal with that when I'm also trying to figure out the color, dealing with the textile medium and all of the others. Now this one, I'm doing the same amount of pressure, but notice how this one is very flexible and this one doesn't move at all. See how this one fans out? This one won't do it. This is what you're looking for. See how you can feel the stiffness down here when I touch it. And what that does is that gives me the control that I'm looking for. So when I want to come around an edge, if I want to cover a big area, if I want to cover just a tiny little area, I can paint on the edge. Good one to have when you're going to be using the Inktense pencils. Here's another one that I like. This is the company that it is, and I don't know what they call this. A shader, I guess, is what they call it. But the important thing is when you feel it, you can see that it's not bending very much. Where, again, this one bends a lot. See how you want one that's going to be firm. So again, when you're in here and you're working, you can feel the scrub. It's important that you've got that much control. Here's a shaper that I like very much. Again, hardly any movement to it at all. And I think the brand on this one is Master Touch. Most of these I buy at either Joann's or Hobby Lobby or one of the art stores because they're going to have these products for you, and it makes it so much easier to know what are the good brushes to be using. Here's another one that I love to use as a scrubber. And let's see, what else have I got? Flat ones that I use. Again, see how it hardly bends at all? And that's why I like to go into the store and buy these, because you can't really buy them, oh, like at Amazon, because you don't know unless it says that it's used for this kind of painting. Is this going to be the kind of brush that I want? So I'm going to use one of the brushes and show you what else I do. I am rock solid sold on using Textile medium. This is a large container because I share this when I'm teaching this class. You don't need one this size. This is normally the size that I have, and it lasts for a long time. But this is the company, and this is the one that I use. I'm absolutely sold on it. Here's a couple others, though, just in case you can't find the one I use. This one is from Americana. I probably got this at Joann's. I try to find products where you can find it pretty much anywhere so that you don't have to be worried about, well, they don't carry that in my town. If they don't, these you can probably get online. But I want to also show you why I like this so much. I'm going to demonstrate it in my hand. Obviously, I don't. You do that when I'm doing my painting. But I want you to see how thick this is. Let's see here. Come on. It's a thick medium. And when I'm working with it, I only need a dab. You don't need a lot. You'll see that in another video that I do after this one. I have another video on how I'm painting some of the 3D flowers that I have. This is way more than I will ever use in one setting. But I like it because I can control it. What I normally will do, let me try to do this on here for you. Normally when I'm doing something like this, I will lay down the color, I would draw the color out, and then I will go directly into the color, pick up a little more of this, and I have just total control this way. Let me see if I can find something here. Yeah. Now, if I wanted to go outside and wanted to make that line bigger, I get to choose that, not the water or not the misleading, whatever else I'm using. The textile medium allows me to completely have control with this. And that's why, to me, this is so critical to have. And this brush, you can probably hear it. What it's doing is it's really doing the work for me, which is exactly what I want. It's pulling the color out, and I can determine by pressure and how much textile medium I'm using, how much color I want where. And here I can pull the color over a little bit more so I can soften that line. Okay, and then I'll show you a little bit over here. Right here, I just scrub in. I've already laid down the color, and I can totally control it with these scrubber brushes. It goes fast, and it's kind of fun to watch it. Here's a little bit more of the medium. Obviously, it's not going to be in my hand. I'm just going to show you this in this demo. But this is how you wear. That's why it's so important that you get the right brush. This is the size of the little container that I use. It's no biggie. One usually has water and one usually has the textile medium in it, or you can just have you can even just put it on the side like this, wherever you are, and use it. It's not a big deal, one way or the other. Okay, so that's pretty much the basic things that you need. I will also have a little bit of water to the side so that I can immediately brush off clean my brush, and then I can set it aside and do a thorough cleaning of all of them later. And the way that I thoroughly clean my brushes is, if I have hand soap, if I have a bar of hand soap, I'll get the brush wet, swipe it back and forth. You want to be sure that right down in this area, you get right in here, that you get all of the paint out of there. And you just squeeze it out, scrub it back and forth until you get it all out. I want to end this video by showing you a quilt that is made completely by using the Inktense pencils and blocks. This is called Freedom and Liberty, and it's one that I made completely outside of the Statue of Liberty, done by painting the little people, painting the background, quilting it, doing the whole 9 yards with nothing more than embellishments for each of them. Each little person represents one country that has in some way been an immigrant into the United States of America. Each of the little kids have got their native costumes on, representing the countries where they come from. They all have the same face, so that in some way, if we are smart about this, we will find a little bit of ourselves in everybody that we meet and everybody that we see. The kids all have their arms open, touching each other, hoping that we will welcome each other without much of an issue when it comes to how we work in this country with immigration. The flag, also hand painted, has in the white stripes in different languages the word freedom, again representing that in some way we are all alike. The quilting is free motion. Each of the children were individually painted and then individually sewn onto the quilt. If you liked this video, I hope that you will subscribe. I thoroughly enjoyed making it for you, and I hope that you got something out of it. Also, when you subscribe, you really do help our channel a lot. It helps us to continue to bring to you the very best in art quilting techniques, designs, and artists. Thank you again for watching.